August 2015. Parts 2, 3, and 4 are brought to you by your very own Burgers Coffee. It's like 6 o'clock at night. My phone is ringing off the hook. It's not really ringing. It's just sitting there buzzing. Bzz. When are you going to post the videos? Bzz. When are you going to post the solutions? Bzz. Leave me alone. Bzz. Get a life. I'm just kidding. I know you guys want the solutions, but give me a break. This takes a long time to do. I got to do it, then I got to do that, and then I got to do a little bit of that, and then I got to upload them to YouTube, and YouTube takes forever. Anyway, this is not necessarily an instructional video on how to do these problems. If I have time and people want, I might do that later. This is, how did I do, Mr. Krause? How was the test, Mr. Krause? I want to know if I passed, Mr. Krause. Tell me the answers, please. I think I kicked butt on the test. Here they come. Here they come. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. I know Algebra 2 Trigs is over. I know you don't care about me anymore. But please, do me a favor. Hook me up with a little subscription. I'd appreciate it. And don't unsubscribe because you're tired of getting my videos. There's not going to be that many videos. I need the subscriptions. It makes me look good. Look at this mug. This mug ain't going to help me look good. You got to help me look good. All right, you guys ready? Let's highlight some things. Nearest minute. Oops, when I'm done, I got to use the nearest minute. 2.5 radians. Oh, I can't tell you how many kids write 2.5 pi. It's not 2.5. It's 2.5 radians. Now, believe it or not, I almost did this exact same question the day before the test, summer school kids. And still, there's a lot of you that rooted up, making me angry. All you do is multiply by 180 over pi. That's it. You take your calculator out. You go, okay, Mr. Calculator, 2.5 times controlled division, 180 over pi. By the way, there are a couple nasty questions on this part. 143.23994. Then you got to do DMS it. So I come over here and I DMS it. 143 point, and then rounded to the nearest minute, it's 14 minutes. So I'm not going to belabor it too much. It's 143 degrees, 14 minutes. Getting money in the bank. All right, let's see. This was not a nice question, especially since, sorry kids, I didn't show you a problem like this in a while. I showed you all the ones, and I said, every time you have the base, you got to make the bases look the same. And then again, well, there's 1/16, and I don't know if I've done a problem like that recently. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Because 16 is just 2 to the 4th. So 1 over 16 is really 2 to the negative 4. So what you have here is 2 to the negative 4 is equal to 2 to the 3x minus 1. And now you set these equal to each other. So you go negative 4 is equal to 3x minus 1. I'm not going to belabor the point. The answer x equals negative 1. There it is. That's the answer. Let's move on. This one was not a tough question, and so many of my wonderful, love you guys, kids. Okay, if you're really tall and you know who I'm talking about, what were you doing? You had like all the cool stuff going on. You even wrote it down right, and then all of a sudden you didn't give me the right answer. Not very happy with you when I see you on the basketball court in Hilton. I'm going to trip you. I'm going to trip you. You're going to be driving down and be like, who's the ball guy tripping that girl? She's such a nice kid. But they won't know the story about how you didn't do this right. You got a 1 out of 2, I'm sure, on it, but not great. Okay. Enough of the side stories. And by the way, you're not the only one. So what we do is we take g of x and we plug it into f of x. Well, this is g of x, and we're going to plug it in for x here. So f of x plus 1, because we plugged that in, is equal to x plus 1 squared minus x plus 1. Notice I'm using parentheses. You did too, MC. But... and you even double distributed this right. That was amazing. Love it. Love all of you kids that double distributed. It's like you were paying attention to me or something this year. And then, I don't know what you did. It was ugly. You even got x squared plus 2x plus 1. And then I think what you forgot to do is distribute this negative. Minus x minus 1. So to get 2 full points, you needed to write x squared. Now 2x minus x is plus x. And the ones cancel, there be the answer. You guys gave me some funky stuff on that one. Not going to lie, not happy with that one. Let's move on. Oh, you guys rocked this one. It was like I taught this or something. All right, except for a couple of you. The P was, okay, the N was 7. We're going to play 7 games. We want to win our exactly 4 of them. The P, or the probability of winning, is 2/3. Q, the probability of not winning, is 1/3. So hopefully you set those up right. So it's 7. We're going to choose 4 games to win. We want to take the probability of winning, which is 2/3, and this goes here. So raised to the 4th power, and then 1/3 raised to the 3rd. Because remember, these two have to add up to 7. Now, I don't remember what this ridiculous answer was, but let me put it in here. So it's menu 5, 3, 7, comma 4, parenthesis 2 divided by 3, raised to the 4th, I believe. I hope so. Parenthesis 1 divided by 3, parenthesis raised to the 3rd. 560 over 2187. 560 over 2187. Now, this is not one you're like, oh, yeah, definitely got that one right. But that's the answer, 2187. 560 over 2187. Not a difficult question. Most of you did well on that one. Nice job. Except for that person that had like 14,723,423 over 14,9 billion. What? Seriously, were you in my class this summer? Were you sweating in gates with me? I don't know. You might not have been. Maybe you were in La La Land. Sorry, kids. This is another one of mine. I know we've done like 4 or 5 problems like this, but I didn't. This is one I should have just. My fault. You had to remember that the formula was S equals theta R. Now, I say it's my fault. It is one of your flashcards. It is one of the formulas I did tell you this past week to remember. So S being the arc length is 6.6. Theta is just 2/3. And my radius is, well, whatever my radius is. Divide by 2/3. Divide by 2/3. And I get R equals 9.9. I think it was 9.9. Hold on. 6.6 divided by 2 divided by 3. Divided by 2/3. What's 2/3, right? It's 9.9? 9.9. Yep, that's it. 9.9. There's your answer. Next problem. Oh, I heard the best comments when I heard this one. It was like, fun! What the fraction is that? Boy, this looks like a lot of fun, Mr. Krause. I just can't wait to do this problem. Didn't hear that. I'm going to do it 2 different ways. I'm going to change these to cosine because cosine's easier. So I'm going to make it cosine squared x minus 1 over 1 all over 1 over cosine squared x. So that's the first way I'm going to do it. I saw a kid do this. I'm like, oh, dude, you got to keep going. So what do you do when you have a complex fraction? Well, you multiply through by the common denominator. The common denominator is cosine x, cosine squared x. All right, so this becomes, well, these cancel, leaves me 1 minus, nothing cancels here, so cosine squared x all over, well, these cancel all over 1. Well, this is just really 1 minus cosine squared x, which is sine squared x. That's method number 1. Method number 2 is a little bit harder. You got to remember that secant squared is tangent squared x plus 1. That's secant squared minus 1. So all over. So this is secant squared. All over tangent squared x. Oh, no, I'm going to leave it as secant squared. You'll see why. Because that's what I'm going to do. All over secant squared. Oh, no. What am I doing? I'm going to change this. I don't know if another teacher did this. I'm going to make this 1 over cosine squared. So these cancel. So I end up with tangent squared over 1 over cosine squared. So that's really sine squared x over cosine squared x, because that's tangent. That's tangent. All over 1 over cosine squared x. Well, you can flip and multiply. So I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, which is cosine squared x over 1. Those cancel. I end up with sine squared x. Not a particularly nice question, kids. Kind of nasty, kind of difficult. This one, however, was quite easy. If you did not get this question, you clearly were not paying attention to the master of disaster, and that would be me. Common denominator is 4x, so I'm going to put a 4x next to every one of these. 2 goes into 4 twice. So that leaves me 2x times 5x, or 10x squared. This x cancels with this x, so it leaves me 4, plus this 4 cancels with this 4 and leaves me x squared. This is actually a nice question. I like this question. So I'm going to move everything to the left side because it's a quadratic. I want to set it equal to 0, and I get 9x squared minus 4 equals 0. Now you're like, oh, that's an easy question. I can do that one. 2 sets of parentheses, 3x plus 2 minus 2, don't forget the equals 0, and you get two answers. X equals 2/3, this is actually negative 2/3, and x equals positive 2/3. They both work, and they're both solutions. Yay! We're moving on to 35. This problem was so freaking easy. Oh my god, I can't believe how easy this problem was. If you mess this problem up after I finish this, you are going to just go slap yourself. Just go, man! Can't believe I should have gotten that right. Oh my goodness, Miss Krause, that was easy. I can't believe I did that. I don't know why I'm talking like this. It's been a long week. Whew. So, we're going to plug a equal 1 in. We're going to plug a equals 2 in. We're going to plug in a equals 3. We're going to plug a equals 4. Now, we're just going to plug them in. So this becomes x minus 1 squared. This becomes x minus 2 squared. Oh my gosh. X minus 3 squared. X minus 4 squared. Now notice the only thing that's being squared is a, not the whole thing, just a. So this is x minus 1, this is x minus 4, this is x minus 9, and this is x minus 16. Now if you go to Kendall and your initials are M-A, Ma, and you didn't add those up, because one time when I walked by you hadn't added those up. Yeah, you blind Kendall girl, you know what I'm talking about. Did you add them up? I don't know if you did. No, I meant the one that was in summer school. I don't know where the other one was. But the one that was in summer school, you should have added those up because I talked about that. Add them up, you get 4x minus 30. Done. That's it. Finished. Oh, let's move on. That's it. That's the only answer. You can pause it. You can come back to it if you want to. Woo-wee! This was a tough problem. Alrighty, kids. You needed to use the law of cosines and the law of sines on this 4-point question. That's a lot of work. 8, 82, and 11. It said that you got 2, 8, you got 11, and you got the angle in between is 82. So, I need to find another angle. Well, the only thing I can do is 8 over, oops, don't have that angle, equals 11 over, oops, don't have that angle. Not going to work. So my goal then is to try to find this side right here. So if I use, this is side angle side, so I'm going to use the law of cosines. X squared equals 8 squared plus 11 squared minus 2 times 8 times 11 times the cosine of 82. You end up with x squared equals, I have no idea. I know x turned out to be like 12 something, I think. Let's see, 8 squared plus 11 squared minus 2 times 8 times 11 times the cosine, almost hit sine, of 82. So it's 160.5. So you go over here and you say that's equal to 160.5, a whole bunch of stuff. And then you take the square root and you get x equals, by the way, I'm just going to do this. Square root is 12.66907, something like that, 66907. 12.66907, something like that. I'll keep that in my calculator later so I don't have to type it in. But now I have this. This is 12 point something. So now I can use the law of sines. Well, the law of sines says we take this 66907, put it over its angle, sine of 82. Now, I'm either going to do 8 over this or 11 over this. Well, if I want the smallest angle, I should use the smallest side. That's why I'm going to use 8. 8 over sine of, we don't know. So I got to cross multiply. So I get 8 times the sine of 82 is equal to 12.669 times the sine of x. I want to get sine of x, I actually want to get x by itself, so I'm going to divide by this 12.669, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to divide this by 12.66907, blah, blah, blah. This goes away. And my last thing I have to do is get this sine over. Well, I'm going to put it over here and make it inverse sine, because remember, anytime you want to find an angle, you're going to do inverse sine. So we're going to take the inverse sine of that mess. So sine -1 of, let's see if I can get this right. I have no idea. Hold on. 8 sine 82. 8 times the sine of 82 all over whatever the answer was before. That 12.6, it'll come back in there for you. And you get 38.705. So the answer is 38.7 degrees. How'd you do? That was a tough question, my brothers. Next one was not so tough. Next one was quite simple. Simple. You group these two together. You can take out an x squared. You're left with 2x minus 1. Copy over this sign. Minus. What can I take out of these two? Oh, I can take out a 4. I'm left with 2x minus 1 equals 0. They have to match. Well, if they match, this is 2x minus 1 is my first set of parentheses. And my other set of parentheses is x squared minus 4 equals 0. This is 2x minus 1. This is x plus 2x minus 2 equals 0. And your three answers are 1/2, 2, and -2. Done. That was a simple problem. And finally, oh my gosh. Not an easy question. Okay, so as summer I said, get the weird thing alone, Pongo. Tinky Winky, man card. Got a little tinkle. You know what I'm talking about. Absolute value. It was fun having you guys. If you see me in Spencerport, come on by, say hi. Don't come in. I'll, have the dogs come after you. X plus 17. You got to get the weird thing alone. So after you get the weird thing alone, which is the absolute values, you want to split it up. So I'm going to split it up into two problems. The original, 3x minus 5 is less than x plus 17. And then, holy crap happens. It's 3x minus 5. Everything else gets negated. Greater than, and we're going to negate this whole side. We're going to negate this whole side. So it's negative x minus 17. Well, if I solve this one, I get 2x equals 22, or equals is less than, or x is less than 11. If I solve this one, I get 4x is greater than -12, or x is greater than -3. And if I look at it on the number line, here's -3, here's 11, less than, greater than. So you needed to put the word and in here. So that would have given you full credit if you put and in there. The best answer clearly is just to do this. But if you'd done this, x is less than 11, and it has to be an and because you're connecting the dots, x is greater than -3. Either one of those answers will be sufficient to give you full credit. And now, friends, comes one of the most difficult 6-point. I thought last June's, the one y'all didn't do so hot on, for those who didn't do so hot on it, June's one was hard. Then the state decided to up the ante. They're like, man, you know what? I don't think we gave it hard enough to them in the June. So let's do this. Let's just throw this one at them. You got a logarithm quadratic that nasty, and you can't factor it. What? You are not nice. Now, for those of you that rock it out. There's only a couple of you that actually rocked it out. Some of you got the right answer. Didn't quite get full credit, but you rocked it out. Nice job, man. I was proud of a bunch of you. This was not an easy question. So let's get started. Or I could sit here and ramble about... When I ramble about very difficult math questions, I need my coffee before I start them. And I only drink Brugger's coffee. It makes the ranting and raving seem so important. By the way, you guys do know that they're not sponsoring me, right? Like, I haven't gotten a dime from you, Brugger's, even though I do some amazing commercials about how to sell coffee to like 16-year-old kids who ain't drinking it anyway. They drink those monsters. Are you guys nuts? This stuff's crazy. Here we go. In order to solve a logarithmic question, you must condense the logs to one log. So you condense them. Well, it's subtraction. Subtraction, when I condense it, becomes division. So I condensed them. And then I sing myself a little song. It's all about that bass, all about that bass. By the way, if you're the actual singer of that song, whoever you are, because I teach math and that's not a song I kind of listen to, sorry, but it's all about that bass, all about that bass. So what am I going to do? I'm going to say, oh, okay, 2, and then these two things switch. So 2 cubed is equal to this glorious mess. Oh, well, I'm going to put this over 1. Now, 2 cubed is really, I'm going to save some time here, is really 8. So now I'm going to cross multiply. So I cross multiply. Oh, yeah, you got to cross multiply. I'll do it slowly. X times 2x minus 10 is equal to x squared minus 7x plus 12. Well, this is 16x minus 80 is equal to x squared minus 7x plus 12. Well, now I still got to set it equal to 0, so 0 is equal to x squared minus 23x plus 92. Now, how many of you would have gotten to that quadratic and go, huh? What did I do wrong? I must have done something wrong because those numbers are really obnoxious. And then it doesn't factor, and you go, why doesn't it factor? And of course, you look back at the directions and say it's round to the nearest hundredths, and you're like, oh, can't factor it. Got to use the quadratic formula. By the way, those of you in my class that used menu 331 and got the right answers, unfortunately, you're not going to get quite full credit for it because it did say algebraically. And the only way to do this algebraically to get full points is to use what I like to call the quadratic formula. I'm the only one who calls it that. Everybody else calls it some weird thing, but I call it the quadratic formula. B squared minus 4AC. Now, I'm not going to go through this. This turns out to be 161. So now if you do x equals negative b, that's 23, over 2 times 1, which is just 2, plus or minus the square root of 161 over 2. And you're going to get 2 answers, both of which work. For those of you that checked it, thank you. I love you guys. Well, I don't really love you. I really like you a lot, because if I say I love you, then you're like, oh, your parents are like, oh, that guy's not creepy, saying he loves 16-year-old boys and girls. That's not creepy at all. Wow. Sure glad I sent you to his class this summer. I'm just kidding. You guys rock, though, man. I'm telling you, I had some awesome summer school kids this year. You know, just really good kids. So when you plug this in, you get, I don't know what it was, 17.844. Where'd we go? So 17.844. It said round to the hundreds, so this was 17.84. And then let me find the other one. We're almost done. Oh my God, I'm so excited. And we're going to delete that. We'll put a minus in there. Hit enter. 5.155. 5.155. Rounded to the nearest hundredths is 5.16. So those of you that got these answers, you went from here to here and you rounded them correctly, you're either going to get a 4 or a 5. I don't know what you're going to get exactly on that one. I have to wait to see the state's rubric on it. How did you guys do? Let me know if you passed, please. When you get your scores and you passed and you said, Mr. Krause, I rocked it. Or when you say, huh, what? I didn't do so well. I don't know. I hope you guys did well. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your summer. Remember one thing from me, if you ever remember enough this. We have enough people getting by with doing the bare minimum. Get off your butt and get something done. Go out and get a job. Go out and talk to your friends. Go out and have fun. But more importantly, be successful at whatever you do. It's been great working with you. Peace out. Rock on. Good luck in pre-calc or wherever you're going next year, kids. It's been fun. Parting is such sweet sorrows. I'm trying to find the button. I can't find the button because I don't want to say it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Bye.